What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Sarlacc Digest, a podcast bringing line talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. This is episode 288, being recorded on December 18th, 2024. I am your host, Darth Butcher. I've got Scott Solo here.
What's up, nerds?
I've got Grand Admiral Franz.
Sup?
We got Ernie the Fallen Fett should be joining us here shortly, and we'll go through us all over again. So I don't know, maybe.
I think he's in Florida, isn't he?
He's in Florida. He ain't coming back.
No,
here.
he's podcasting right now as we speak.
Is he really? I didn't know that.
That son of a gun.
He
I just
is.
seen him in
Wow.
an airplane tunnel. Like I guess it was travel day back. Look at that.
Yeah,
I guess so, all of us.
This jet setter. Who knew?
Seriously. Well, for 600 subs now, you gotta be where you're gonna stay. You're gonna be.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, gotta be.
We've got Star Wars to talk about. We've got a couple things, and then of course we've got Skeleton Crew to break down. But before we get into all of it, Scott Solo wants to shout out our Shadow Council and everybody who is impatiently waiting. I mean, they want to talk. So,
oh my God,
let's get to this pit, man.
I can't hold them back, man. Okay, so really quick, let's give a big shout out to our Shadow Council. That is our Patreon crew. Without them, this thing would not be what it is. Without them, I'm pretty sure the Skeleton Crew wouldn't exist, right? Because Disney listens to
We
us.
fund it.
We tell them what to do.
Yeah.
And the pay, something like that. Yeah. Anyway, so special
course.
shout out to AJ from the Forbidden Panel, Brandon and Anya Epler, Brian C, Cliff, Commander Bly, Crystal E, Don the Dad Dorn, who gets a special shout out for taking care of my dog who decided to crap all over the bathroom this weekend.
As they do.
That's lovely. So thanks, Dad. Eric Grubb, Gavin Connor of the Holy Hour, All Cure Podcast, Justin the Vanilla Thunder, Mervine Balanos, Matt Logic, Muftak is back, Obi Sean Kenobi, Ryan, and the Stardust Podcast. If you want to become a member of our Shadow Council, like these fine folk right here, like these pillars of the community, like these incredible Star Wars fans, just scan the QR code right there, or go to patreon.com/Sarlacc Digest Podcast and donate a couple of bucks right there. And boy, oh boy, I really do wish that we funded Skeleton Crew, because I'd love to take credit for that.
I'm taking credit.
Show's pretty freaking
I'm
rad.
just gonna taking the credit.
Yeah,
We're
we
gonna
just
take-
said do something awesome.
And boom, there you go.
Yeah. Give Neil a love story. Boom, done. Give Neil his own show. No, I get it.
Neil's the lover in this show, right? He's got a crush on Runa, right? I'm never gonna forget Runa's name. Runa's like the character stuck in my head. That name's in my head,
Exactly.
right? Who do you have a crush on? Runa.
Yeah.
And then what's her name? Hana.
Yeah.
He's all over it.
I love it.
He's got all sorts of game. It's the trunk.
It is the trunk.
Yeah.
And he
Trunk
doesn't even
makes some
try. It
great
just kind of
noises.
it does.
It-
It does. Yeah.
All right.
Uh,
Well, the pit.
Yeah, we're also digesting Hal Runner Base. He's
Look
in there.
at this. He said LOL Bly because he was first
Whoa.
before Commander Bly. So there is a race
Whoa.
comment first. I love it. But Commander Bly's there too.
Commander Bly is here. Then we got Rhino Hobbies in here. What's up, Rhino Hobbies? We've got Nicholas H. What's up, Nicholas? We've got Hal Runner Base.
Oh yeah.
Trevor Ritchie.
Yes. Keep going.
Let me see who else we got. Oh god. Matt Logic is in there. What's up, Matt Logic? We've got Santo 1414. Stu John Jedi is in there. Sleepy tie time. He's got to wake
Yeah,
up. It's
thank you
time to
for-
talk Star Wars.
Damn right.
Dr. Brantley, Douglas Tupper. Who else we got in here? Basil G is in there. Gavin Connors hanging out too. He's also East Coast. We got a bunch of really sleepy guys in there. And of course, Mando Mike.
Yes.
What is up, guys?
He's
Yes.
probably a sleepy guy too.
He's sleeping.
Probably.
I'm a
Yeah.
sleepy guy.
I want to say, Amanda,
Come on, man.
are you still enjoying the show? I want to hear from you in the pit there. But before, of course, we break down
What is
Skeleton
there
Crew
not
because
to like?
I'm just asking.
Oh, okay, yeah, go. Sorry.
Yeah, Amanda,
Mando Mike.
because he doesn't like anything. But but you know what I saw today?
He
It
likes
was yeah, you know what I saw today that was kind of interesting? I saw that the Acolyte's putting out the visual dictionary now. We still don't have visual dictionaries for Ahsoka or Mandalorian or right? Like
Any of them?
yeah, like
Any of them at
Who's
all?
the Acolyte?
why the Acolyte like now? That was kind of weird for me to see that. But am I gonna
Maybe
put it in my Jedi?
Yeah, go ahead, Scott. I think you're gonna.
I'm thinking maybe it's because it needs it to put it in its place, right? I mean,
Because the coffin is done. Because the
time.
nail is.
Oh, see, I was
thinking.
thinking maybe it's kind of a maybe just a last ditch effort to possibly save something. Like, hey,
Maybe.
here's some explanation to things. How does the internet take this? And if we take what the internet says, we can go off into not necessarily Acolyte 2,
Right,
but something with these characters.
Right.
Right.
The internet's going to take that and put it in the $5 bin at Barnes and Noble next Christmas. So
It will only take a couple of us to look through the important parts. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like most of the visual dictionaries, if we can find cool nuggets, and now like Last Jedi didn't really have any great nuggets to save it. You know, it was just stuff in there. But a lot of those visual dictionaries have really cool nuggets that add to the book or add to the movies.
Yeah,
or shows or
I'm
whatever.
curious in
Yeah.
that the only thing I'd be curious to would be the Strangers stuff in it
Yeah,
if
me
the
too.
helmet was
Yeah.
or Knights of Ren driven, right? Because we
That's
always
all I
have this
care.
thing about and that might be the exploration that they take sometimes is like taking some characters and moving the certain characters into the future, but dropping the overall what they've started on that. So
Yeah.
which is pretty it's a possibility.
I'm surprised it's coming out. I'm actually I'm not. I haven't been confident, and still am not, that I'm going to get the helmet.
Right.
Because that was way pre-ordered. Right. Like I'm talking late next year to get. It's not even coming up soon. I don't think.
Well, I mean, Hasbro's
Who
not
knows?
canceling anything. They just released Kel Naka a couple weeks ago. I mean, last week. So it's not like
that just feels
they're
like a big
holding
risk
back.
on something like that. That's
Yeah.
$100.
It depending on
item.
how many pre-orders they already have. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
fair. Yeah.
And there's no news on it so far, so I think you're pretty safe on the
Right.
helmet, on the helmet front. Yeah, but
But it's anything, right? I mean, I still never got a pop, and I don't. I mean, I assume maybe I'll get one.
yeah, like you haven't bought one or they haven't made one.
They haven't made one.
Oh.
They have Kamir, but not the stranger.
Really?
Yeah, you would have thought that would have been the first one, right?
He should have been the first. He should have been the focus. Once it was revealed, he should have. Yeah.
Been the focus, been the corner of the figures, like we all, should have played it like that.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
I mean, number one, it had him. He was great. I mean, he was the pinnacle of the cool in that show. His Cortosis helmet. I mean, they introduced Cortosis into canon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no.
Yeah. Don't get us started. There's a lot there. We can we definitely
live action. It was canon from the Thrawn books.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Again, that. Yeah. I don't know.
Anyway.
I like to. There are some things about the Acolyte that are still kind of cool, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want. Yeah. Exactly.
That's it.
I don't want to derail the rest of this.
Hey, let's stop that conversation and go into. I hope we get a visual dictionary for Skeleton Crew.
Oh my God!
All right, and let's talk about these homes that are apparently on every planet, and these track homes.
Here's the thing, guys.
There's 9 Earths.
Yeah. So so of course I watched 1, 2, and 3 again preparation for because I'm into it. I think a lot of people have it on, and it's just a fun kind of thing. First off, the music and hitting those beats. I'm noticing them for the first time in a long time that they're doing it to the show. Even that intro to this one with it's like it was really cool, And then this episode, I'm just gonna throw it out there as an overall so far, and this episode had me sitting back going like, what the hell's going on? Like it's not straightforward anymore. It's not. It's now we're into some Scorsese kind of things going on. Like, man.
Episodes 9 and 10 or whatever the last 2 episodes are on At-Atten. I think At-Atten's coming up real quick.
And I think so too.
And then we get into what we had talked about in the very first week was maybe there is a dark edge to that story, right? So
I got a couple of theories, but one thing I noticed and what made me go back and look at the first couple of episodes were whenever they were on what was the name of this planet? Akron or something like that?
Yeah,
Akron.
No, Akron. Okay.
Oh, it wasn't Akron. I lost it. It's the only one I didn't write down of all of them because I thought I remember it.
So they're essentially in what looks like an abandoned, destroyed version of Neil's home, right? And you saw on the wall in the background the mural. And then I went back and I'm like, wait a minute. Went back and watched episode 2, and you saw that same mural in Neil's home. And it looks like either a Jedi or somebody of, great stature. Maybe it's the Chancellor of the Republic. Maybe it's somebody like that with almost like a sun behind it with a symbol in the center of the sun. And then like one of each one of the species that lives on this planet mixed in there, almost like a Noah's Ark, if you will. Right.
I mean,
that's what
even with this episode,
it was like the Rebels mural is what it is in the background. Like
exactly.
The same size and everything on the wall.
Exactly.
And you guys brought it up about the alien species that are just kind of like or soul in this. When we get to this planet, it's the same species. We don't see any new Ithorians or Rhodian, the Neil's love interest race. I forgot her name already. What's her name?
Runa.
The Runa's race was in it. And I'm sitting there going like, is this the upside down of At-Atten? Meaning it's mirrored.
There are 9 alternate Ats.
Yes,
they're all exact carbon copies of each other.
That is.
And now,
insane.
did we start them all at the same time? Now, here's the deal.
Okay.
Do we put people there, or do we clone people?
I don't know.
9 times.
Interesting.
If you go to Neil's house, and Neil's house has the mural, but it's damaged, right? And then you go to At-Atten, it's the mural. I'm waiting for a version of the Skeleton Crew to come out in this planet. I was waiting for that.
Well, no, see, that would be complete alternate universe, right?
Yeah,
this is.
We don't want that.
They would have had us. No, they would have had us. These are the kids.
I know.
So no,
Like,
the original clones would have been 100 years
Oh,
ago.
original, yeah. I
Right.
mean,
You start with clones and they have babies and grow up. And then the experiment is to see what happens to each one.
gotcha.
And one has become a Mad Max
Weird,
type,
man.
end of the galaxy type, or end of the world type thing. And one is flourished with no war, no anger, no anything. So what's in between these two? Right. So, and they probably set them up differently, just a little bit different on each one to test it. You know, leadership, government, whatever, money.
Are we thinking that the original captain of the Onyx Cinder could possibly be the supervisor that's on At-Aten? That's where my head is currently at, because if it's a long-lived species, it could very well be that that person set themselves up as the supervisor at At-Aten. Because number one, they're on At-Akron with Smee, and he kills all the people, erases the location of At-Aten. Sets himself up there, crashes the ship, deactivates the ship, and then that
makes a lot of sense.
That one's the only one that has not been destroyed, according to Kim, the owl lady.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. How that would remain hidden.
Well, this planet wasn't destroyed.
It wasn't destroyed, and
kind of, we don't know that. That's weird. Because when they say destroyed, I had Death Star in my head.
Right, like obliterated.
But here's another Operation Cinder destroyed.
Right, and they've done things like that to Rook's people in the old Heir to the Empire, where they destroyed the planet. Right, so or didn't bring it back, I should say.
Because Jod mentioned something when he stepped off the planet. He's like, it tastes like the ash in the air. It reminded me of my home planet, right? And I'm sitting there going, ash, Cinder, Operation Cinder. Maybe this is part of the whole like maybe the Emperor's blasted everything, but they didn't give the coordinates to At-Aten. They preserved that, but the other 8 planets they obliterated or decimated to the point where the leftover people on there now are at eternal war with each other.
I guess it just depends on when it happened.
Yeah, right.
Maybe each planet has been. I mean, maybe each planet was going through this certain level of dystopia, right? And I don't know. It seems like since the only one that still exists is At-Aten that hasn't been touched, and it's the only one whose coordinates have been erased by the original captain of the Onyx Cinder.
And that makes a lot of sense. That he would be the supervisor on At-Aten because again, the operation.
He's the wizard, right? He's the man behind the
curtain.
Exactly. It's one of those things. Like I go, all right, this stopped being very straightforward, and now I have to think. This started to be like, all right,
started mysterious, got a little straightforward, and now we're back in the oh god, what is really happening here?
Because at first I didn't want them to be back on that, because that's not really that much of an adventure if they're going to have this thing in the battle for. Then it's like, oh, that's not them, and it was like this mirrored planet where everything was cookie cuttered, but this is the destruction version of to the T.
When they know what the buildings are, there's the school, there's the supervisor's
tower. They went to Neil's house. You know what I mean?
This is where my parents work. That kind of thing.
It's weird, and I love it.
Okay, actually, before we go any more love fest, go ahead and read this real fast.
Well, I just wanted to. I wanted to hit the pit. Yeah, I'll let you go first. Then I'll hit the pit. Go for it.
Okay, playground equipment needs to. I'm pissed. That's straight Earth equipment.
Merry-go-round.
You didn't even color it. You didn't put any lights on it. Didn't make it electronic. You just straight gave me one out of a New York fucking park.
When they said that they're gonna be
one in Apple Valley.
When they said they're gonna give us, when they said they're gonna give us 80s vibes, they were literal.
Like that bugged. That bugs me a ton. So
I saw that too, but also I just remember Judgment Night.
Yes, that's exactly
Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
My head was
the whole nuclear war on the merry-go-round.
That's great.
Thing. Yeah,
if it was on Earth.
Yeah.
I know. I was just saying, like, they really,
maybe that's what happened on that planet, and these are the
Operation Cinder.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Or
so
something
they
like
part of the Emperor's plan. You're saying, then he could have known about all this.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: is the time frame on these is weird, and I say that because this planet. I know they have contact with the outside a little bit, but they were in an AAT. Right, they have Imperial helmets on.
No, they had,
and that the tank was the AAT, right? The droid, the droid tank.
Yeah,
battle droid tank. Yeah,
there were a lot of Imperial uniforms there from the Mud Troopers. They had the Mud
that's
Trooper
what it was. Mud
stuff.
Trooper couldn't get it out.
From Minban. So, I'm wondering I'd be crazy if the supervisor was one of the Emperor's Sentinels. from after his
wow.
contingency plan. I don't know.
Oh, shit.
I know we're kind of like, because we can't help it.
There's too much going on.
They
There's so
opened
many
it up.
things.
They opened it up big this time. So let me
Yeah.
hit the pit real fast here. Matt Logic said there was some new stuff, which was cool, but as a whole, for him, the series pacing didn't work. This feels like a film that's been cut for TV. I think 100%
Today, I
that's
agree,
exactly what it
100%.
was. Yeah,
Today 100%. That's on my list of shit I didn't like.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
that it was a film cut up for TV, and I do believe that this episode could have benefited from a double episode because
the ending was not where it should have come.
yeah, it goes back to here we go again, meaning you just gave us this I mean really complicated thing now that we're trying to figure out, and maybe that's on design too. It's like let them simmer it with it for a week, because they're going to talk about the show. That means that more people are going to tune into it, and so there
Build
is
up excitement.
I just don't like leaving it in the middle of a scene.
I mean,
Like literally, like there was nothing. They just finished it up. It was a great scene, right? The whole terrible part. Blah, blah,
oh god, yeah.
But when all they said was, not even in a dramatic way, we were all chilled out. He fainted. Boom, gone. It's like
the episode went to sleep when Neil did. So
yeah, that's right. And that was bullshit. We should have, to me, we should have been at the next step, right? What's the next step? And then just cut it.
Yeah,
whether the droid wakes up and tells us where, I don't know. But
it
was uncomfortable where it stopped.
Yeah,
right?
I was like, oh, and that's the first time I did this
in
on the show.
I'm trusting in this process though.
See, I am too.
I do too.
This did feel like a filler episode until they got to the point where they were in the Fallen Sanctum, Fallen Sanctum, right? Once they were up there, and that's whenever the questions start arising, suddenly the mystery is back, and it's like, oh, okay, so there's a reason.
Because the pacing and timing before that was completely off. He's completely right.
In this episode,
yeah, because the whole thing with Jod and the other group, right, was like, the hell was all that? It was just a weird.
But that
he was just able to buy him out.
Scenes.
But I took that as a couple things. Either it was exactly how it was laid out, or there's a lot more to Jod than we know, and he either. He took them out. He did something. He did something where he's playing that double game. Because again, what you don't see is just as important. And then how it's like, here's all your stuff back, and hey, we're good. Let's go get our stuff. He asked about the treasure a few times. You know what I mean? So there's that in that setup. His character
he's stealing the money. But then admits it and says, "I used it to save you."
Yeah. Like,
but how'd that all? Eopies, by the way, that was a neat.
Yeah,
Eopies are
cool. But weird ones with horns, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they don't normally have antlers or horns on.
Right.
So that was interesting. Yeah.
On Tatooine they don't, but Forest. Yeah.
True.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That piece, the editing, it was a little choppy, the plot wise. But I think you're probably right. This is something where they put it that way on purpose.
Yeah,
and later on,
we're going to come out.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to see the other end of that story.
Either that, or they're going to come after him. I thought you bought our way out. It's like, no, a
little Han move, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, that'd be pretty
exactly.
Cool.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Right on time.
I know Matt Logic ratted you out earlier up in the chat room. Says that you were trying to get out, but you kept telling stories over there on Fallen Fed.
No, there kept being comments and everybody there. Now I mean, I'm like, I gotta talk Skeleton Crew. So
what's the giant box behind you, man?
His tank.
Oh, cool, very cool.
Yeah,
still waiting on the ghost. The damn thing hasn't arrived yet.
Some people said though it shipped.
It's happening. Yeah.
Some people got shipping and some haven't, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But
not yet.
We'll see.
Well, we're talking Skeleton Crew.
Behind was
Oh, nice. That's not Star Wars though, but that's fine.
He'll probably show.
I mean, if it was a big Neil, if it was like a big Neil,
that's what I'm saying. If all this Captain EO is coming true, then somehow Stitch will get thrown into a pirate scene. So there you go.
Well, welcome, Ernie. We're getting into the whole Skeleton Crew, of course, and we're talking about the supervisor that's on At-Aten, and then that's not At-Aten. It could be the who crashed on the planet. Was Mando Mike was saying, and that with SM-33 as being told to wipe out his memory. That's why they were in that. He was in that ship, buried, and then yeah, there's some.
Anyway,
there's some
we're just
different
trying to
concepts.
figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
If we recapped it right now, we'd go another half hour.
Oh, exactly. But Commander Blythe saying the original captain is the rat in SM-33's eye socket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He almost said, he started to talk about it, right? He started to tell Jod, I do remember at Atten, and the thing popped out and he forgot again.
Yeah.
That was weird. That was weird because he had completely forgot. Jarred
and then he started steaming, right? There's smoke started coming out of
the steam part
he
was
got
weird,
way more
right?
he got more dementia, right?
Yeah.
When the rat came out that time. He went a little bit crazier.
Yeah.
True.
Rhino Hobbies is also guessing there's no actual tangible treasure. The real treasure is peace, like what Neil's whole character arc in this one was. That can't we just say sorry and then move on and be friends? And
I think what the coolest thing was he was terrified and admitted it, right? But that's
not
he said what he said was, I don't want to hurt anybody. I thought that was.
You think he's just gonna go nuts?
No, it wasn't. That wasn't his fear. Was he could hurt someone? He doesn't ever want to hurt anybody.
Yeah,
there was a fear of him getting hurt too.
Yeah,
but he got right in the front and said, "I just don't want to hurt anybody." That's cool. That wasn't being a pussy.
No.
It was neat. I just thought that was intentional, obviously, to say that. I just thought it was a cool thing for that character.
So you think like Neil's a black belt?
No. I just think he wouldn't hurt a fly. Why put me in a fight? I don't want to get in a fight. It's not just me. I'm worried about the other person too. I'm not being a wuss. Why are we
could be a black belt.
He could.
Yeah.
Be.
This is Neil.
Now his little brother's taking care.
He plays slap ball, and he's the best in the school.
Yeah.
His arc was really cool, man.
I love that guy.
I just love him.
Yeah. He's. I mean,
and she kissed him.
Yeah.
Tell me the three of you did not go.
Going.
Yeah, Neil.
Did you notice? How about how many people fist pumped when he was on the ledge and he scooted over a couple times?
Look at him.
Come on.
The only thing, because I'm scared of heights, I literally said out loud, "What the hell? They're sitting on the top of the roof ledge?
Yeah.
Right? Honestly, weren't they?
I thought they were on a bench.
Yeah, they were.
I didn't know.
No, they were on the edge.
Yeah, Commander Blythe saying this was Neil's episode. I would imagine each kid got their focal episodes. Because KB got hers the last one. She kind of got her one-on-one with Jod and stuff like that.
Well, Wim was the first 2 episodes, so Fern's probably up next.
Yeah, Fern
kind of
had a little bit of her
in the beginning.
Again, how it's edited too. It's kind of like choppy about. Yeah,
hey,
she didn't really think she was the captain, right? I mean, they're just playing a role. It wasn't like, I'm the captain and I failed you. And I was like, really? Do you really think you were the captain? I mean, you guys were you're lost.
She
and you're
taking charge.
Yeah. Yes, Ernie.
So KB is very Lobot-like.
Yes.
That's what I was just trying to say.
Lobot
exactly.
didn't talk. So my question after everything that has happened, and especially the scene where she just stood there and they had to pull her down.
She has no emotions.
That's what I was gonna say. Is she a robot, like a synthetic, or is she?
That's what I was gonna. Because last week it was her week, and that did not come up at all. But this week there were a couple different signs. It wasn't just that. There was another point too. The high five was awkward as shit.
The high five.
Right? She's never done anything like that. Which, by the way, another earthly thing invented October 2nd, 1977, shouldn't have shown up there.
I'm older than the high five, everybody.
Right. I'm older than the high five.
What did you? I heard Chris scream through my own TV.
Same.
When they showed the planet and it looked like Earth. I heard a "what the f" from Chris.
And the carousel, the playground carousel. Yeah,
that part too. Yeah. I really thought, well, the 3 of them will check on him, but I can feel Chris going off right now.
Oh, he did earlier. Replay clue, we'll get it. Yeah. KB, I'm taking KB as just as implants, and she's upgraded.
Yes.
Cyborg, I don't know. Maybe it could be. It could go that way, but
it could be on the verge because we've seen it was the Rhodian character in Rebels who also had the cybernetic attachments who completely lost touch with all emotions. Yeah. It's Sibo. Sibo.
Very Star Trek
and
right?
in the comics, they're dealing with Lobot and they're trying to get Lobot's personality back. And they did get Lobot's personality back, but it was the implants that are directly hardwired into their brains that override their personalities. And KB is nowhere near there yet.
she was, I mean, she's very analytical, right? Very,
Yeah.
there's 30, millions of cyber, whatever this and that. And it's like, this structure is going to fall down. So, obviously she could
She's
see.
smarter than everybody else. She was going to rewire his memory.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Here's,
So right now I just looked
Data.
up, what does KB stand for? Kilobyte or knowledge base are two of the most common.
Kilobyte.
I was just checking them out.
Yeah,
What does KB
yeah.
stand for? Kilobyte is
Yeah.
number one.
I
right?
think that makes the most sense.
wow.
And knowledge base. I think this is what we're leaning.
If she ends up being a cyborg, it wouldn't surprise me. That's
This whole thing has something. She has implants at some point.
The
Right? She's
only
been
thing
enhanced.
that thrown me off with that though was the very first episode, because I love this show so much. I have now watched it so many times, and that she laughed at the joke of making them say she made me do it, and she was laughing at it.
Oh.
So her laugh threw me off. Like, I felt like from the beginning that she was a girl who wore this because she thought it was cool and can do cool techie stuff with it.
a thing that she.
But
Yeah,
now
yeah.
it's progressed into this more cyborg-like.
But it was an awkward
Forward.
laugh when she did it, right? Because didn't you think,
Yeah,
that
little.
kid's a little stiff?
Oh yeah, she's definitely socially
But that's- she's
awkward
supposed to
and
be.
probably
Yeah,
bi.
not the actress. It's yeah.
Danny
Okay.
Redbirds,
Oh, hey.
4.99 super chat. Thank you so much.
Thank
for
you.
That.
Thanks, buddy.
Cheers, Danny.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you. Yeah, I was just gonna say that her parents are two women too, and they kind of maybe made KB
Yeah, I was just thinking
Like
that
they-
too.
like-
Same
like they
thing. I'm
made
trying to think,
her
how would that
as a
work?
rope, right? So and it kind of hit me. I was like, okay, she's the only one that's different as far as like that, upgraded
With
cybernetic.
cybernetic
She could be an android.
That was the first time that I thought about it, is what they were saying about her.
Yeah.
But I really
Right,
felt like it
because
was
they
like a
said
homing
something
beacon.
about
Yes.
last week. They said something about her having special needs or something like that, right?
Huh? Yeah. So to me, that when I was like, does she need to be plugged in? Like,
yeah,
what is-
charger? Yeah,
Oh
See,
my
like, the way
god,
they
dude!
talk
What if
Lobot was. Remember,
Yeah.
Lobot was sitting there with
Yes.
his eyes
When-
closed and the
when
thing
Lando
charging
called,
up.
that's what I mean.
he's on
Yeah.
his
And I'm-
wireless charger?
and I'm cool with it. Like, let's go, right? If she's a cyborg or full on android, something, let's.
Yeah.
I'm good with
Yeah.
that.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, I'm in with that. I mean, Tech had implants too, and
Sorry.
Tech wasn't going nuts, but
Yeah.
It's like, go
Oh,
Bot.
God.
Stu John Jedi. She's a girl Lobot. She's a GoBot.
Leader one.
uh,
I like it.
Yeah. No, I do appreciate the show focusing on one of the kids, sometimes heavier in each episode, and like I said, going back to Neil, I thought it was perfect, and it does harken back to Star Wars lessons in general.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why Obi-Wan's whole motto is like, why only the fool rushes in, right? And there's all alternatives to fighting, and there are some. It goes back to George Lucas's writing, and like that. So what do you got here? Oh yeah, Matt Logic. Could be that her medical condition. That's what Ernie just brought up. If she doesn't take her pills, she goes full cyborg, just
or
like
plug in.
SM33 went full cyborg. He went full hunter killer droid this episode.
oh, before he went full hunter killer droid, though, he had a sarcastic babysitter mode.
Oh God,
Oh my
which was
God,
I'm sorry.
that was
awesome.
fantastic.
I don't
Come here,
Come on,
baby.
man.
why.
Come here,
Tell
baby.
me why it's working in
don't
this show, and if they put that in like Kenobi, I would be like, oh, why'd you do that, right? Like,
Because
I
it
mean,
just does.
it is
But in the
just-
cartoons, that would work too. It
In
didn't
the
matter
cartoon.
which one. You could have put
Come on.
SM33 in anything, and I'd be like, SM33 is great.
So funny, dude.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Come on,
Yeah.
baby, get
I
don't
love
make me
the-
count.
Don't make
Yeah,
me
don't
count.
make me count.
And that's when he turned around.
I
Yeah.
really hate that they don't call him Smee and they call him 33, because I just constantly call him Smee.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and I
I
don't do
love
that, yeah.
how he changes his stature
Yeah,
from the
Yes.
whole pirate
Oh, yeah.
hunchback. And when he gets into that mode, it's almost, I mean, I can't compare it, but still, it is very Vader frightening,
yeah, he's
because
huge.
he's this, I, and then he transforms into that
Yeah.
tall menacing. And you're like, oh my God, something's going to happen.
I
Well,
like
it's just
it.
like when Jod asked for the gun, or what did he say, weapon, or did he say gun? Like he knew what was.
Oh
gonna
yeah,
happen.
give me the gun. Give me the gun.
Give me
the
the gun,
blaster.
right?
And it's
The
yeah, the
blaster,
blaster.
sorry. Yeah. He knew what was gonna go down.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he came up on him before. He was when he thought he was the thief.
yeah,
even though
Yeah.
he was.
he didn't
But,
recognize
he
like I
raised up on
thought.
him.
Yeah, and he just like again, there's a lot more to it, and I think that's why even though, like I said, it's cut up in the pay, and that's why I was sitting there going like, it's I want more, and that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing that we sit there and go, damn it, like come on, because there's so much more. Especially, like I said, this episode really did a great job of just throwing a monkey wrench in our whole line of thought, like where the story's going. I thought the kids were just going to be out there and they find their way home and everything is all good and dandy, but no, it's like not even their home planet is safe. Not even like this whole 9 planets of at whatever. And you did notice the symbols on all the thing had 9 or 8 dots and 1 in the middle. And then also on the supervisor's throne room, they were laid out that way. The columns were in it and had the big column in the middle.
Mhm.
It's all connected somehow, and it's kind of cool how it's a puzzle to us now.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. And so the whole overriding of SM33 by Fern having her moment of doubt and despair and just like, I can't do this.
Great.
I'm in
that.
over my head. Great acting, by the way, of the kids.
Yes.
And women Fern had their moment, like they were always butting heads and kind of doing a thing because women's into I didn't want to
love Wim, dude.
What did he say at the beginning? Oh, that was short-lived. And I felt the same too. I'm
He
like,
was mad.
We're going home already?
And you feel,
It was
you
just
heard him.
getting fun.
Yeah, it was
But
just
then still him picking up the stick and making the saber sounds.
Dude, he was dual wielding. Right? He was today. Yeah, I was like,
Absolutely
this
right.
kid,
he is all
he's
of
out of
us.
control.
He is absolutely
Yeah.
all of us. Like, I don't want to
I
go
love it.
home. It's boring at home. So
Yeah.
but yeah, so
That
That-
part that you just called out of her was amazing. That was great acting, but also
Yeah.
on his part, where
Yeah.
she broke down and you really felt it from that
Yeah.
little girl. Like, wow.
Yeah.
And I loved his answer. She's like, "You're right. You should have been the captain." No, I shouldn't have.
right.
He-
You'll figure
was
it out. You
restoring
got us
the
here.
faith.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was restoring the faith back in her,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
his reaction was great as well. Because wouldn't you kind of figure, Wim, I'll be the captain.
Yeah.
But he whatever he wants.
He
Hell
wasn't.
Runner.
He was
Wim isn't
right there.
taking anything serious. I know he's
Right.
just like full blood, turn the gun up, boom. I mean, he's just like involved in. he's yeah.
So-
yeah, you can't not like him.
No. But this planet that they're on, using the children as soldiers. I mean, this is some seriously messed up crap right here, right? I mean,
I had a
it's
feeling of whatchamacallit, what's the 80s one with the Russians? I just
Red Dawn.
Red
It
Dawn.
does feel like Red Dawn. Yeah.
because I have this
But-
whole list of 80s movies that we keep hitting, and as soon as they showed that, and then he asked, "Are you a group of kids fighting the adults?" Like, I was like,
I love
Yeah.
it. That was his best line of the day. Are you guys a group of kids
But
fighting
what
the
he-
planet?
But
Yeah.
what he didn't finish, just like the Old Republic story, and they pulled him.
yeah,
I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
he like I
Yeah.
said, and that's what
I've been
gets me.
waiting for this night to ask Scott, is that true? Is that a book thing? Is that a comic thing? Does anybody know the story or no?
I'll look into it, but I believe
think they're
it is.
making up new stories right now for sure.
I think
Because the
so,
thing in his
too.
data pad is going to be something. Eventually, you know what I mean?
I look it up, but I believe
Okay.
there is a comic thing about kids running a planet, military versus something. I do recall that. I just
kind
have
of
it. I'm
felt
just
that
not
everything that
100%.
Wim says in his data pad, like Chris is saying, is
Yeah, I think
going
that's
to
an
be
Easter
very
egg.
important to us. Right?
Yeah. I think honestly
Yeah.
that's an Easter egg. And you brought up the thing about the kids fighting and stuff, and I mean, this kind again, we're going to get more. I hope we get a lot more description and what's going on and what's happening. But it did seem like the population was so low, they're starving. So yeah, you put weapons in kids' hands, and you're like, we're all in this because if I have to sit there and hold your hand through this, no one's going to survive. Of course, what flag do you represent? What flag do you raise? And so now this planet has factioned off. It did seem like the Tridents, which was what the kids follow, right? The Tridents. I think that's what they call them. Triads.
Troik.
Troik. It did seem like they had.
Matan.
Yeah, it did seem like they had Imperial helmets too, but not the mid-band ones, not the Mud Troopers, but more like Veer's helmet. It did seem like they had some. I mean, I have to look more closely to it. So it did seem like these factions of survivors are at each other's, like it's a perpetual war, just like what Neil said. You guys can't fight forever. Can't you guys say I'm sorry and just shake hands?
My only thing to that was is that who came and destroyed the planet?
I don't know.
No,
I think those are left
this is
over.
part of the plan. These are the ones. These planets were all supposed to be destroyed,
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
they're left over.
except for
like they're
Ad-Atom.
just
It's the only one that's. Remember, Kim said that last time they were all destroyed.
right.
So these are the remnants.
Remnants.
you know.
Yeah, they're it's just the sole survivors fighting for survival at this point, and they factioned off.
It's just
You know.
what destroyed them is the big question.
That's
Did
the question.
Empire, Did the
Yeah.
Empire find them all? Was it something that happened?
See, and that's when I
before the
felt as soon
Empire?
as we saw the helmets.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, definitely Imperial
But
influence.
this
because of the
planet, they
Clone
did
Wars.
mention that they take outside. They do deal with outside.
trade.
planets.
They
But
do
that's
trade.
weird, right? Because weren't all these? Is Ad-Atom the only hidden one? The other 8 weren't hidden.
That's the $1 million question.
No,
This is how was
this
they?
was, this
How
was
are they
hidden
dealing?
because that's how Kim found
Kim
this one.
found it.
She
Yeah.
thought this
Yeah,
was.
Then how are they dealing with outside planets?
I think that's them that they did that themselves, going against the rules.
Maybe.
They wouldn't have had any ships.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's the whole thing. There's, like I said, there's more. This episode really
Mystery.
put
Yeah.
a lot of monkey wrenches in, and a lot of theories, and sitting going like, okay, I'm no longer watching this straightforward adventure. Now I got to something where I need to think about this and rewatch. And there's like certain things, and I think that's what we're gonna get the next 4 episodes. Of course, we're gonna get these things, but at the same time, as I was watching, I kind of forgot to really pay attention and just watch. Okay, you guys tell me what's up, right? Like,
Yeah,
come on,
yeah.
show.
I mean, that's probably the best move right now because this is a show more than any other show that we have no clue. There's nothing,
Seriously, dude.
any kind of canon, legends, anything that has to do with this show. Really, we don't even know where we're at exactly. Vane is the only thing that's connected, right?
Yeah.
And we don't know if that's pre-Mando or post. We don't know anything. So for us to guess is. I'm going to drive myself nuts.
And that's the thing. It's like, well, anybody's guess could be correct at this point. There's no references to go by, and we'll wait and see like that. And I think that's what the frustrating part of it. Like, oh, why'd it cut right there? I want, give me episode 5. Like now, this should have been a double episode, and then took off a week, But I don't know. I'll hit the pit real fast here. Commander Bly, it's so refreshing to have conversations like this about Star Wars show that's not dripping with cringe, regrets, and too many, but wise. Yeah, 100%. Like I said, there's the attitude that we go into. It's like it's working here because we've all settled into this plot that presented to us. The kids, everything. Besides the suburbs, I get it, but
I love it because they flew in and said houses.
Exactly. but it's also making, like I said, it's also making me sit back and watch versus like with the Acolyte and stuff like that, and having to almost take notes. Be all right. I need to ask the guys what this means. I need to look up how is this? Okay, how was that? Oh man, that really impacted this. Now
Didn't
this could be exactly, and
it's all in front of us.
Yeah.
Hey, what's the director's name again?
Oh, it's the I don't know.
It's not Webb. I always say Webb.
Where you talk about jeez, you got me forgetting.
The guy that does
Who are you
the
talking
show.
about?
The director of the show, the creator of the show.
Okay.
John Watts.
Watts. Remember, they brought him in because they wanted to do some kind of. We were worried, right? Or I was worried that we were going to do World in Between Worlds, time jump, because he does that kind of stuff a lot, right? Even with Spider-Man in there. This is a Star Wars version of an alternate universe. I was just thinking of, where he gets to play around and see what would happen in different. Because I would assume now we're going to go to these other planets, and they're all going to be
just a little same. If they're different, how if they're mirrored? Like if we had 9 planets that are identical, and Ad-Atom's the only one that's self-preserved. That's interesting too, because then it's like you're not just clone. Now we're getting into cloning planets.
It's the one that didn't fail.
I like this idea.
The other ones all were failing.
Oh, maybe What
do you think it is, Chris? What are you talking about? Different.
What do you mean? Let's say that. Everything. The government would run. They put these 9 different things up, all run different ways, different governments, different currency, different whatever. We run it with money. We run it with bartering. We run it with
see what works.
Whatever it is to see which one flies. We run it with war, whatever it is, right? But they're all carbon copies of each other besides the government and currency.
Got it.
These guys set it up right. This is where there's no fighting, there's no war, there's no nothing.
Yeah, I don't know.
I still think that the only reason, as I said in the beginning of the show, that Ad-Atom did not fail is because the captain of the Onyx Cinder hit it. I think that by him destroying the coordinates of At-Aten, taking those coordinates, destroying those coordinates, going there, crashing his ship, and taking over control of that planet is what saved it from being either taken over by the Empire or or
you think the director is the captain?
Yeah, you missed the beginning of our episode.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, the Onyx Cinder was crashed on the planet, had been there for decades. There were trees growing out of it.
With SM.
SM was in there. SM has the programming to kill anybody that tries to find At-Aten, if anybody ever asks.
Right.
All the breadcrumbs point to him either being the supervisor of At-Aten or his descendants being the supervisor.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. And again, there's that, and then there's the question of why At-Atens, why at fill in the blanks, why
at Ado, Arissa, Araviv, Akoda, and I can't remember when we were on today. But there's the thing, Scott. So if say they did remove them from here, right, and you say like they hit it, there has to be records somewhere in the galaxy of them. But did they go to all 7 of the other planets and wipe it out of those towers?
I don't know. Maybe
who
knows? Maybe they saw it coming, and it's like there's one left. We can preserve this when we can stop this here. Maybe it was altruism. I don't know, but there's something about the captain of the Onyx Cinder crashing his ship there, telling Smee to kill anybody that asks. Smee is the one who destroyed the coordinates for At-Aten. I mean, it's all interconnected.
Yeah.
It just, to me, it makes sense that the woods where the ship was found were off limits. The droids told everybody they could not be out there.
Droids are running everything.
Droids are running it, right? The ship was crashed there. They're not supposed to be in there. I'm telling you, man, I think the director or the supervisor of At-Aten was the captain of the Onyx Cinder.
Yeah, and it could be another droid too.
I mean, seeing this episode, that's a great one because I was almost with Chris there. My thought on this was more like a Twilight Zone type thing, where these 9 planets were all different, and so like this one was At-Aten is the fixed one that is all peaceful and money, and we don't care, and we don't know anything that's going on and hidden, and like this one was a war one. We set up these people, we started war. How do they continue? The next one, say if we went and visited another planet, was going to be like nothing but female. Like that's all that's at this one. Or what do you mean? You have men here, kind of like that Twilight Zone type of thing of everyone it stays hidden, and then this works to what Chris hates so much is how it's so different from like our Star Wars because it's an experiment. It's hidden. It's supposed to be this way to kind of figure out what would work if, say, the Emperor had to reset or something.
Well, that's the whole thing. I mean, if we're going to bring this back to
this is Old Republic, though. This is Old Republic. This isn't Empire, though.
Well, we think, but all the clues are on this planet are Clone Wars stuff, Imperial stuff, Rebellion stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
I'm talking about
At-Aten
too.
But they're all the same time frame. The 9
I was with Old Ways too, but then seeing this war planet and all the helmets and everything, that's where I just kind of switched to, oh my God, this is the Empire. So I don't.
I saw it almost like how Saw Gerrera's they all had like remnants of like Imperial stuff,
But in order to have that,
the Emperor had to be there.
To exist in that time.
Yep.
And like to the High Republic piece, that's before that time. So if you've been lost since the High Republic, you would have no connection to an AAT, no connection to a Mud Trooper helmet, none of those connections if you've been hidden since the High Republic.
Yeah, because that is direct.
Though,
this planet is directly Imperial influenced because of those relics. Not meaning what was there before, just meaning they either fought them or something because they had the helmets and they had the.
So somebody found them and
something. Again, more questions than which is great. And that's what's keeping the conversation good and the people.
I had a question if you guys are able to see it. I wasn't able to turn up the brightness on my TV so much, but in the very second episode, there's a mural in the
we talked about it.
Wall. We talked about the beginning of this episode
today.
Yeah. Was it the same one in that destroyed one?
Yeah. Yes. And that's what's funny.
It looks like either a Jedi or the Chancellor of the Republic or somebody holding up some sort of or bringing in one of every species that's on these planets with a sun and all the different symbols of the planets surrounding that sun.
That's what's throwing me off still.
So
it's like
sitting one in the destroyed one.
It's a mirrored planet. It's almost like
Yeah.
it's Neil's house. Neil knew exactly where to go. He thought this tree is not supposed to be. This tree is small. In my house, it's
Yeah.
small. Here it's and that's and that's what's throwing me off on all these theories, right? Like
Yeah.
it's okay. I get maybe each planet's there, but again, it's almost like the upside down straight, and that's probably why that and way back then there was some mention about Stranger Things being a influence or kind of like a scene. But
Hey, hit
This is a
Dazzler real
grand
quick.
this is a grand experiment right here that
Yeah.
just that it went wrong on the other planets. You know,
851 at Akron. Yeah, here. So at Akron is not hidden anymore. Why do we know that? That's what I'm asking. Because Kim
All of
said they
the-
were all hidden, and
They
she
were,
found
but-
the coordinates.
yeah,
But if you notice, it's barrier. All the satellites surrounding it were the barrier, and they were all destroyed. The barrier surrounding Ad-Atten were not destroyed.
Okay, so
it
it's
is-
not
Right.
just being hidden off of maps.
so
It's not
the-
on maps. You'd have to
No.
stumble across it.
Yes, but
So
it's
you
not
think
Right.
those
like
things is what
Ad-Atten.
made the
That-
barrier?
that
Yes,
opening shot,
100%.
they were
satellite, yeah,
they
you're
were
right.
destroyed. Yes, yes,
Oh.
yeah. Kim figured it out through symbols and language and stuff like that on what they were.
Yeah.
Then she says, and then on the archive, the records, okay, here's those planets that we found out where the kids are from. Boom. And then the lore was there were 9 planets, but they were destroyed. Did she give us a time frame when they're destroyed? Was it after the Empire?
No.
Because
But it's a
No.
legend, so
They were
it
just-
makes
It's a
sense. Like
legend.
I said, they did say they deal with people outsiders. So I just have to go
Yeah.
with that they've gotten tanks and helmets and stuff from outside.
yeah, Mando. Sorry, that the Kim's the owl chick. Yes, the
It's funny that we keep everybody. All the words they're using are Earth words, and
Yeah, I
they're
know.
just spelling them different, right?
Yeah.
In the show,
Yeah.
they're very lazy on that. They keep it really.
But,
yeah.
Him,
I mean,
Neil. It's just
Yeah.
like, it's just funny.
I mean, come on, we've got Ben Kenobi. I mean,
Obi-Wan. Stop.
Yeah. Obi.
Ben Kenobi.
Let's not throw it back and forth.
Obi-Wan.
You get my
Ben
point,
Kenobi.
dude. You get my point, right? We're on
Yeah,
Earth.
that's-
We're using
that's
Earth names. We're doing. Like I said, there's going to be a Aaron, like the Kahim.
It's just
very.
It's just a good thing.
very-
It's a good thing we don't know anybody named Luke. That would be really weird.
Yeah, that would be wild, huh? I named him.
Yeah.
How
it would
how
be.
rudder
Not
based? The people
understanding
on
of his name.
at
It's all right.
Akron didn't seem too surprised to see a ship and new people arrive. Yeah, they were just like,
That's a
"Yeah, hey,
good
join
point.
our army." They were just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
So
that's the other part, right?
That's a
This
good point.
for a warring place, a lot of warning
Yeah.
shots. Not a bunch of death. They're not really fighting each other. They're like they're opposite people, but it's not like. Did we see anybody fight each other?
no, it was
No.
a patrol.
Ooh.
No, like I said again, Jod was confronted with them, and then something happened. He just
Yeah.
I think there's something
That-
happened there. He either killed them
Oh.
all.
That was okay. That was my thing from Evil Diva, and I was not thinking that. I was
Yeah.
too invested with the new planet, and we saw it happen, and then it cut, and she just literally got up and she goes, "Ooh, he's gonna kill them all."
Yeah,
It was all, what?
yeah.
Like, I didn't even think that, and I was like, "Are you
I mean,
serious?"
the last
And then
thing
when
we
he
saw
showed
him,
up through the thing, I was like,
yeah.
"Oh my god!"
with
So
the
I was gonna ask you,
OPs and like,
do you
I-
believe that he did trade the money, or
I
that he
think
killed them?
there's well, no, I think there's something. Yeah, he did something there.
Yeah.
Jedi mind trick, took them all out,
Maybe.
did something because he freed the EOPs. He only had a handful of Republic credits, and what good is money
But-
on this planet? You know what I mean? They just take
well,
them.
that's
To buy
true.
weapons.
That's true.
To buy from who? Big
From
The
Maybe.
outsiders that gave him the tank.
Yeah,
I don't know, but I heard
I don't
that.
see it as a
did not even
flourishing
think
planet
that.
with the
I wasn't
trade.
even like there or anything until she said it, and then he walked and was like, "Oh, here you go," and I was like, "Oh my god!"
yeah,
I immediately went to he killed them all,
yeah.
and then
I-
when he said I traded the money, I was like, "Oh my god, he's lying."
you never
lying.
get like a straight kind of like forward
Yeah.
thing with Jod. It's always like, yeah, of course. If you think I did that, then I did it. It's almost like that attitude. And
But he was also very sincere in a couple places. It seemed like, right? Well,
Yeah, he
the
is.
sincerest was, you know what? Just shoot me.
right.
Right?
Yeah,
Like,
that
was
was
the,
I give
the
up.
most sincere.
Just shoot
I
me.
give up.
Yeah.
But he was also, when he had to explain the stealing and the buying of the EOPs and he saved them, he was like, that was a genuine reaction to him. It seemed like Jesus Christ, what can I
Yeah.
do for you guys? You know,
Yeah.
I'm out here saving you. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it didn't seem like, whew, got away with
Yeah.
one there.
Yeah, Brad. Again, in my head, I'm going in circles with this Ad-Atten thing because, just like it says, but the rest of the galaxy does know the name of a mythical treasure planet, so something has to be there. Everybody knows of the place; they just don't know where it's at.
Yeah.
And
No,
then
but
it's
this time it doesn't exist.
purposely
It's just a
hidden.
story.
yeah, it's purposely hidden. There's a lot of things that again.
But you know what? The barrier trips me out because, like, I get that the satellite's broken, and you couldn't find it on a radar, but you'd still have to stumble across
What is the-
it.
What does the barrier do, right? I mean,
Right.
does the
Because
barrier
they
like
shot out of it.
completely they did, but I don't think we saw the planet from space looking at it, right?
Mhm.
Is the barrier a cloaking device of some sort that actually hides the planet? I mean,
Well,
Oh, maybe.
the description that they gave to
Maybe.
Kim was about that gaseous stuff, and she jumped on that immediately. So what if in space travel or in space that green gas is like you don't go through it? You can't. So if you
Maybe-
see
yeah.
this big ball
maybe
of
it looks like a nebula.
Yeah.
of green
Yeah.
gas, like, oh, you just stay away from it. But
Yeah.
like you said, that is the cloaking
Yeah.
of the planet, because it wasn't, that green wasn't there. Obviously, we
Yeah.
saw the planet,
So
and that's what
uh,
she jumped onto immediately.
It was there in
when
the
they
opening
said it was
shot. In the opening
gaseous.
shot, it was there. It just
The
wasn't.
green?
It was like very sporadic. It wasn't like controlled like at Atten, right? When the
oh, it
opening
just
shot,
looked like I thought it just looked like clouds.
yeah, but
So
we're
did
in
I.
space. We're in space.
Yeah.
We saw the planet from space, and then the.
I gotta look at it again.
Yeah, cinder came
Yeah.
through, and then we saw the barrier, and then we went through. It wasn't like covering it. It was just kind of sporadic out there.
I didn't like how easily he said he could override the.
Oh,
The
the autopilot thing. Someone brought
Yeah.
up the autopilot thing. That's like,
and he says, "Oh, autopilot," and then he says,
well, just like Chris
"Okay, I'll
said,
override it."
this planet
Google
does
off.
get visitors, and there is some sort of maybe sparse trade routes. Maybe pirates are using. Who knows, man? Like
Well, no, he's been there plenty of times. The captain has an autopilot.
That's
set to
right.
Where to go?
SM-33 has been there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. The ship did that. The planet didn't do that.
Right. Right. The ship.
Oh.
did
It wasn't
yeah,
a tractor beam.
no.
It was the shit. Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, Mooch is right. I didn't notice that before. That it's not just clouds. It is definitely aspects of the
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
of the
Yeah.
out there in the
Oh,
fringes.
way outside.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
It said it was a shot from space. It wasn't. Yeah.
Maybe all of them together then make that to where
the
you
fu-
don't.
That's the fucking earthiest Earth I've ever seen.
Not really. Camino
So
looks
yeah.
like that.
It should look like that.
It looked
Just
just like that.
And
Get
I
out.
literally said out loud, "Oh, Chris is losing his shit right now."
Oh man.
Oh,
It's like,
Yeah.
dude, no.
It's
There's
funny.
Greenland right there. You can see it.
So real quick, we've got okay, so we're talking about a mythical treasure planet, right? I mean, yes, of course, maybe the real treasure is that there's no war on this planet, right? It's the only peaceful planet in the entire Star Wars galaxy, right? But
Yeah.
if you're talking about physical treasure as well, it's also running off of ancient Republic Daitari, right? So I mean, it's like gold bullion, right? To
With
I'm glad you
Why
said
the
I'm glad you
galaxy.
said Dateri, dude. Because that's how I say it.
Dateri,
That's
yeah.
how it's always been. But they're saying
Because
Dateri is
of
like
Qui-Gon.
crazy.
Yeah,
What's
it's
that?
because of Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon said, Republic Daitari. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
it's-
Dataries here to these guys. And it's,
Dataries,
and
yeah.
it's not even just the kids. It's off-planet people saying Dataries.
But-
Oh,
But it's also he was Irish. Liam Neeson,
Yeah.
Qui-Gon was Irish. Maybe that's just how
Accent.
the Irish say it. They said
it
Daitari.
was so much better
Right?
Yeah,
It was
I know, right?
accent.
for
But, I mean-
25 years.
I mean, it's still
Not
English.
only- Not only is it peaceful, but it's also rich with Old Republic money, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it
There's
looks
a
like
lot.
gold.
Again, my head's
And that
spinning.
might be that. That might be it. It could be- I was just talking about the government and the currency and stuff, right? So maybe that's what everybody knows. It's like, hey,
Maybe.
the one planet left was running. They were running completely on this, and this. That's where we go.
No outside help.
Yeah,
nothing,
Basil G. It
right?
looks as earthy as Alderaan or Yavin's moon, Chris. Come on, dude.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Alderaan's
100%.
those nope. Alderaan's way wider, and Yavin's moon is way greener.
Alderaan is Switzerland.
This is
Great Jedi 22 check-in. Also, yeah, Han could get to it in 12 parsecs from where he's at. Of course, I'm waiting for Han coming.
we can get
through.
to anything within 18 hours. I promise you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? We established that. And,
Yeah, because Last Jedi was across the galaxy and back in 18 hours.
Yeah. Again, it's so funny because everything that we're beside the supervisor being
Yeah, that's good. I
the
think that's
captain.
the-
I think that's the most
good.
solid lead that we have
I think so.
from all the information that we got out of this episode. That's the most solid lead. I think that we can connect that. And as far as the planet's purposes, what it's doing, how it's hit, whatever, that is like still, again, that was the big monkey wrench. And I appreciate it too, because at the very beginning, when they thought they were home, I kind of was like, I slouched. I was like, oh, we're home already, and then we're gonna have like a fight on At-Atten.
That's what
You know
I was
what I mean?
thinking
Like
too.
I was like,
Yeah.
aw, but then
Yeah.
it wasn't, and then like this bigger mystery and all that stuff, man. So
It's in my wheelhouse. I love mysteries. Like, just give me puzzle pieces, man. I just want to sit here and stew on it for weeks. You know.
I know I haven't hit everybody's
I love how
comments.
Wim was a nerd like us and threw out the have we been asleep for hundreds of years?
Yeah,
Or what did he say?
Yeah.
That
Wim
was
is great,
awesome.
dude. He's
Yeah.
good.
Like we're gonna
I'm
figure
gonna hit Mando Mike's comment right there. I'll hit Mando Mike's comment. He's calling it's the dad. I think Julie said that same thing.
What
to
dad?
Me too.
Who's dad?
Wim's dad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think
he's
so.
high enough up. I think the parents are just going to be the parents. Although
Yeah.
Fern's mom seems a little iffy to me. I think she's the one.
She works directly with the supervisor. She works for
She
the
does.
supervisor.
She's the iffy one, if anybody.
Yeah.
I think. But if all the parents know, that's weird because then they're eventually just going to tell the kids, and you just go generation by generation. Oh, you have to.
That's
really
the
do
second
have to.
time. That's the second time I've seen Darth Callback. What the hell is Darth Callback? In comments, Stu John, if Leslie Headland was running it. The dad would end up being Darth Callback. I don't understand the reference. Sorry, man. Stu John, let us know what you mean by that. I don't understand the reference, buddy.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
I know someone mentioned in the comments too. It's like who here mentioned about using kids as warriors? I mean, that's
right,
the
because
Jedi's
Jedi do
MO.
all the time.
Yeah, it's like
It really is.
Ahsoka.
Which I
Yeah,
have
I mean-
called into question since day one. I think the Jedi are messed up for taking kids and using them as But anyway,
Yeah, again, whoever side you're on.
Yeah, these planets have all done that. I mean, not the Twilight.
Oh,
right?
You're
On,
destroying the Death Star where everybody just moved in and it's full of stormtroopers. And
yeah.
and their
They're talking
families.
about nostalgic.
Yeah.
okay.
Darth
okay.
Revan or Darth, something like that. Got it.
Gotcha. All right.
Darth something old, lame.
and gay.
Oh, let's see here. In the Mandalorian, why didn't Din and Bo-Katan just disengage the autopilot on that list? I don't know.
Were they on autopilot or were they on a tractor beam?
I don't know.
They were on
I don't
autopilot.
remember. I'm not
Now I wanna
revisiting that
see.
episode.
They were on autopilot. It just kind of
Yeah,
took them in.
I'm not revisiting that. I'll just
It wasn't that bad once you got past.
Oh, but
you
the
know,
word "bad" is
Lizzo.
still in that statement. So,
The
anyway,
story around the little game and all that, the little their stuff, right? Between Jack Black and Lizzo. Outside of them, the other stuff was cool.
somebody
great,
mentioned
yeah.
last week about Christopher Lloyd's character being the supervisor because he was in control of the droids. Hence that was funny. And the droids run the At-Atten. I love how it's just funny. Saber Smith, there's a lot of stuff from the trailer we haven't seen yet. 100%. Every
Yep.
show that we have covered and talked about, we've always said, hey, the first 2 episodes, we've seen everything from the trailer, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Not this
this one, no. And I made a mental note of that too. It's like, there's still a pirate war. There's still, there's
They do get back to
There's the
At-Atten
buffet
and fight
line.
because there's a shot in one of the things with the dad behind the kids ready to fight with them.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
there's something
There is.
going on.
Yeah,
there's something going on.
it's
I forgot
everything's
all
going
about that.
I think
Yeah.
how it's going to end. Honestly, I'm just going to put this out there right now. I think how it's going to end is that everything about this group of 9 planet supervisor it's going to be exploited and destroyed. And then Wim and his father actually do get a new life where it's not that mundane. The kids do get a chance at a new life. It could be on Coruscant.
The
It could be on-
X-Wings show up and Carson invites him to join the New Republic.
There you go.
And that's how we kind of maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Saber, the treasure room. We still need to get to the treasure room. Like,
Yes.
with
Oh yeah, that's right.
The
Yeah, there's
Indiana
a lot
Jones
of-
treasure room.
I'm telling this thing's
God
gonna
damn
go.
it, Scott.
Maybe that is At-Atten. Maybe that is the treasure
Yes.
of.
If we're gonna go to Scott's theory, and
and that's it. That's it.
the supervisor is nothing like the whole Earthly we see. It's a
That's
whole
it.
captain's quarters.
The
Yeah.
problem. The
With-
problem. Oh, the captain has to be old. You were saying.
Or a droid.
No, or
Or a
a
droid.
long-lived species, just a long-lived species, right?
But
It
see-
doesn't have to
Oh, Dr. Brantley, the
Yeah,
supervisor.
you're right. Like
skeleton.
not Yoda, Hutt. They're all like hundreds of years old, or Rancisos,
Yeah.
or whatever.
It's
you
just
know?
it's a dead skeleton of sitting up in that tower. and the droids have a protocol, and they're just running the government. They're just running the planet.
That's quite possible.
I would
Yeah.
love the
Quite
robots, the
possible.
droid. I
Right.
would love the droids running it.
And
They
you got to
just
give
took
me
over.
you got to give me a
Oh.
whim saying not that. That's for
That
the
one's
director.
that
Yeah. That's the
Commander Ply.
director.
It's Babu Frick. Hey.
And he only says the hey, and he takes
Hey.
off in a tiny ass ship and just
If it does that, and it just roll credits.
yeah. And still,
my goodness.
Skeleton Crew was so awesome. That was great. Who
Yeah,
would have known
Stu John,
that it was Babu
like
Frick?
Oz, like Oz. I mean,
Yeah.
again, there's some really cool things yet to come. You have to be seen, and again,
Comes out from that big skeleton's head. The one that they show in that treasure room and does the hey, and then that's it, you're gone.
and then if it ends
It
up
opens
being,
up and he's just sitting in it, just waiting.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I am loving this theory, though. The theory that the captain was the supervisor, but now he's dead, and the droids are running the whole show.
they're
It
just
makes
they're on a cycle,
sense.
right? They're just
From,
on.
that's what I was gonna say from his program, right? Just
Yeah.
like
That
Smee
makes
does.
sense. Yeah.
Or
And then
that was
all-
the whole plan. Do we run it with people or droids? Or that was part of the experiment. And that
Could
was
be.
the droids ended up.
But
Winning.
still, you gotta get you've got to get the Onyx Cinder there, and there has to be a reason why they took out the coordinates on at Akron, right?
Well, okay,
You
that's
still gotta get
easy
there.
enough to say that he didn't want anybody else following him to the treasure. If that's just the way it is, nobody was going to follow him. That's if we're going to play without that theory, and then the droids just cover that ship up because they couldn't get rid of blah blah blah.
If you
We'll,
think about
we'll
it,
stay away
Either
from the
way,
forest.
yeah.
He wiped out his whole crew, had Smee take out the coordinates, took the ship there, crashed it, probably killed the last two remaining members of the ship that were there, because remember,
Which were
you've got
inside.
two skeletons, which were inside.
Yes.
I'm telling you, man, that
if
that
you
the
And if the
supervisor
droids
at
are
least
running it,
was him.
the droids are everywhere. The
Yeah.
forest ones that we talked about,
Yep.
bus drivers, teachers, inside the home.
Yep.
So they're everywhere.
now
Yeah.
wait, I
monitoring.
just thought of when I was talking about how this was a straightforward kind of adventure and everything.
Yeah.
The straightforward answer is same thing. The captain of the Onyx Cinder is the supervisor, and he kept at and for hit because now he owns the planet, the treasure planet. He runs the government.
Yeah.
He's the guy. He's the man. And he let no roads lead to him, destroying everything in its wake. And so that is kind of like a simple way of putting it, to where it has nothing to do with the grand anything. It's just him owning the planet. It's like he's the richest person in his world on running the planet and keeping everybody in line.
What if he's the one that pillaged all of the other planets? What if he and the pirates pillaged all of the other planets, destroyed them, took them back down to the dystopian societies that they are,
Yeah.
took all of that bounty or booty and took it to At-Atten, and
Killed all
what
his
he
crew.
did.
And killed
Killed
all his crew, and
so
then now
he
he's
is
living the
dead.
life. And then
Yeah.
But so it still has to be exploited, and the kids have to get off that. And the kids and family have to get off that. All the people get off that planet.
It just feels like that's a lot for pirates.
Unless
For an
it's
ambitious-
almost like
Completely
a
pillage
pirate.
a planet,
Well, it's almost like,
you know.
but this is Star Wars, right? So Star Wars is.
But we've had
grander,
pirates, and
right?
they haven't been able to. The Empire can do that.
Right, but this is why it worked this time.
Hidden
I don't know,
planet,
and
though.
this is and
A
it probably
hidden
took.
planet.
Yeah.
If they discovered,
Oh, they have no
if-
defenses.
They have no defenses. A hidden planet with no defenses. He finds it. He found the X that marked the spot. Took all of the bounty because he had the coordinates for all of them. Where else would you hide your stuff but in a planet that can't be found, right? Destroy the coordinates. You know what those coordinates are. Destroy them. Go there, and you're golden. Right? I mean,
Well, yeah, it just it just had somebody had to get out and tell the story. You know, it had to get out as becoming a legend, and he didn't kill
Right.
all the people. Yeah, if they're going the Goonies route, the pirate route, this would make, and again, Star Wars is grand, right? So it's like, oh, I just destroyed that planet, no big deal, boom, I just did it, and you know,
So are you guys gonna be mad when the senator turns out to be Hondo?
no,
Just laughs.
no.
The further we're going, the less I'm feeling him. But we haven't got back to the pirate story, so who knows?
Yeah.
yeah.
So as we're wrapping it up, but I do want to
We're
mention
wrapping
how much I want how much I love SM33 and his change and his that camera work on him, where it was like
Oh
his
yeah.
and the voice was limb from limb, and I was like, this is great. I love it. Like, this is
Yeah.
great. I was like, that is so cool, right? Yeah, I dug that part, and as he was doing it and it was getting bigger, out in my head I'm going, yeah, get meaner. Oh shit, he's getting meaner. Oh yeah, and he started
was
doing
hulking
exactly what I was what I wanted to do.
Yeah, but
No,
Neil, leave
that
my
was
friends alone. That was the
Yeah, Neil, man.
saving grace. Oh my God, Neil.
Yeah, no one watches Artie. What's up, dude? Hi everyone. I'm sure I am late to the party. It's okay. Replay crew. That's what the replay crew's for. And of course,
And there's some good shit in that replay. So
yeah, and of course, leave a comment down because we're always in there, and this conversation never stops. So and yeah,
right there, that Neil saving the day piece.
Yeah.
It was one of those Jod reactions again too, because he went back, hit that switch, dove out the way, came up, and they all ran over to
Yeah, and he
to
was.
Neil.
Remember, he's
And
all.
Jod's like,
Yeah.
what am I doing here?
And you know what? As you say it, I still didn't
Exactly.
realize it until now
Yeah.
that you said that was. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he did save him.
That's right.
He always did
Neil,
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basil's got a great question there. At Akron had a giant cannon on
Yeah.
top of the school. It makes me wonder if there's one or more on at Atten.
They bring up everything to prove, like they showed today with the droid, right? There's a reason they had her control her droid in the first episode, so we could see it happen here.
Right.
So they're showing this so we can see it happen.
Oh, they're
when
gonna
Pirates
use it.
attack at Atten.
Yes,
100% they're
Absolutely.
using it.
Yeah.
And if we make the argument
Wim's getting in.
at Atten, we're only seeing that one city. And there is the forbidden areas where the droids are keeping everybody out. We don't know if the rest of the planet is in destruction.
Every
mode.
planet lives in a city or two, dude. Come on.
No, what I'm saying
What?
is
It's
it
Star
could be
Wars.
destruct. It's just like, yeah, I know it's one biome. I know, but what I'm saying is like
Weren't-
the city that they're in, Pasadena, what they're living in. The
Right.
rest of the planet could be like the other ones, just total destruction and whatever. And now we're, we're just in one area of it.
with the reveal of that huge gun, and then now thinking about it, that all their weapons were different. What if it's not cannibals, but you flew into this weird planet by accident and they just took you out and kept all your stuff?
Yeah.
throughout
I'm surprised
everything.
they didn't. But that
Because
wasn't
all of
option
those-
one was weird.
All of those weapons were so different. And then he just says, oh, we've been trading. But there wasn't any weapon that was the same, or to say that they had blasters. So what if that's it? I mean,
That's-
if you enter into this, the gun destroys you, take you down, and they just collect everything.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like Dr. Brantley's saying right here. The kids get back home, followed by the pirates, and the kids are the only ones that can defend them because they know of the giant cannons on top of the schools, right?
Ah,
That's right. If
a
let's
cool
go
fight,
back
too.
to episode.
That's
No
a
one
cool
else is
fight.
gonna know.
Let's
No one else is
let's
gonna
go
know.
back to the episode. See if there's a dome on top of the school, like with the white shots, and see if there's a dome, and send that
Oh,
because that's
maybe.
where the cannon was hidden under.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
so with that, who is there? Because
Oh yeah, that's
Neil
what,
also
Great Jet,
Neil
that's what
also
I.
made the point of. those
That's where I
weapons
was
were
going with the homemade.
Really?
But yeah, I mean,
Oh.
they all look because none of them looked like
None
they were
look like
cookie
they
cutter.
work.
They were all look like different. Everybody had a different weapon in their hand.
And that's why I thought they were just old.
Yeah,
Neil made the point of my mom works there. How we keep saying of who knows inside that building of what's really going on.
yeah. The adults
All
know.
the parents work with the government.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all of them do. Yeah.
Wow. Well,
Before we go, Johnny, let me see, where is Danny Redbirds? He actually asked us another question about somewhere way the hell
Oh,
up
let's
in
highlight
chat.
Pimp Daddy Satan.
yeah.
Pimp
First
Daddy
off-
Satan?
Yes,
off-
the Shills love Disney Star Wars. We love some Ray. Let's do it. Come on, dude.
First off, awesome name. But yeah,
That is an awesome name.
are you watching Skeleton Crew, or are you just kind of like?
Have you watched us at all?
have you
Or
watched?
are you
Nah.
just coming in here to be a
Guaranteed not.
putz? Because
Yeah.
we hate plenty of shit, but not because of you. Not for your liking. So
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
Get me all worked up. I smoked way too much before this to handle anything like that. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, just because someone's positive about something means that you're
Yeah.
chill.
You shill. If they want to pay me, I'll shill for them for sure, dude.
Yeah.
Seriously, if I could get some of that,
I
Um,
want a Disney Plus treasure chest. So yes. Please go ahead and
Shield
send
me.
it to my address. So
Yeah, Mandel here for the Star Trek. Well,
You can
You get
block
some.
him.
it all leads to the sequels, though. He's right, though.
And yes, that's what it should do. That's what it should
Yeah.
do, right? They fucked up on the sequels. They did, and they have to know it. And I think they do know it. But that's all this stuff has to fix it. And either
That's
we
what the Mandalorian.
either we go in here and watch the story, or we sit there and be miserable and go
They're
on
not
to
gonna-
podcasts and pages and bitch about it. And we
Yeah.
don't want to do that. We don't.
Nope.
We'd rather to see the story come in,
We
play
said
out,
this.
and get better. This
we said
Skeleton Crew
this-
has nothing to do with the sequels. So
we
far,
said this
so
a
good.
long time ago that they're not going to. As much as we don't like the sequels or have our problems with a lot of the stuff,
Yeah.
they're not going to erase it. And so
No, they
now
will
we're-
never
Rise is
admit
trash.
They
Or
will
redo
never
it.
admit fault. The acolyte to them is great and all that, and we didn't enjoy it. But they're never gonna admit they were wrong. on
now
that
we're
stuff.
living
They're
in
gonna
this
move
30
forward.
we're living in this 33-year period in between trilogies, and that is more fun than the sequel trilogies.
This is the
themselves.
best. This is the time frame that we really should have gotten. This
Yeah.
whole Mandoverse time frame is the sequel time frame.
Yeah.
For me, the old Heir to the Empire time frame, so it works. It's
Yeah.
perfect. Anyway,
you
I
guys
just wanted to
are
get.
talking
We
about a
hadn't got
connection.
angry. I hadn't had an angry second in a minute.
I'm still all on board that this is a Captain Neo connection, because I will have you know Neil's snort or whatever it was the exact same sound as Hooter makes in Captain EO.
Well,
the
if
exact
it's
same.
for night dancing, then it's good.
I was you're gonna watch. Wim is gonna moonwalk somewhere across one time. It's gonna be very subtle, and no one's gonna notice it. And
By the
you know what another thing was? How they keep saying Captain. You could be
Yeah.
Captain, and I'm like, you're gonna be Captain EO. But
but
yes.
speaking of subtle, I love how the holiday special keeps coming around and around where John takes the thing and he's all, and then the camera just kind of puts up. He's just like, throw that away.
Yeah, they leaned
So
into
that
that
one-
pretty good.
That
Yeah,
one was
that- I
weird though,
love it.
because they used the same machine it was in the holiday special, but then it was just this little
Yeah,
piece of
like
it.
a little projector.
It's like a
of that.
projector. You can expand it,
Yeah.
turn it in, whatever you want.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I love
Yeah.
it.
He had it in
I-
portrait.
I wonder
Uh,
if George Lucas is really bothered by everybody's making fun of it, or does he like it? Like, does he?
Oh, he doesn't even like it.
Yeah.
He didn't even like the holiday special. Sabersmith really quick said, imagine if they put out Skeleton Crew before the Acolyte. I've got this. I was thinking about this morning as I was on my drive from Vegas. I'm like, what if that's the reason why the Skeleton Crew was held back? It was because they knew that fan reaction was going to go ballistic with the Acolyte. So they're like, let's give them something that they will enjoy to try and save face afterward.
I honestly
You
don't
mean like
think
that
they
really
knew
was Disney
that-
head saying this is gonna be messed up?
No,
We know
I
it's gonna
don't.
be messed
I
up.
honestly
Yeah.
don't think
Hold
when
it.
they put out the Acolyte, they knew that the fandom was going to backlash. I think they knew that they had some controversial things that they were going to put in, and they would have we'll just deal with it, or they let the actors deal with it. Is what the problem was.
Yeah.
But yeah, if Skeleton Crew, I always say if they put out Acolyte with nothing ahead of it, the promotions, there might have been a different sentiment, out there without all the controversial things ahead of it.
They marketed Skeleton Crew exactly as they should. We're all excited to
And
be
they're
here.
still
This is
doing it
cool.
that
We get
way.
to
Yeah.
hang with the kids. Oh, we get to hang with him. Blah blah blah. Everybody was
Yeah.
cool and fun. And no, hey, this is the most kiddie Star Wars ever. It just is.
Yeah.
It just is Star Wars. That's
All
what-
right. Pimp Daddy Satan here is just a jackass, so he's going to go bye-bye.
But by the way, it
Oh,
does
wait,
make
no,
you
no,
bald.
no. That's not what's
No?
making me go blind, is it?
It has me.
I
I
think it
can't
might
see.
be.
I wear glasses and I'm bald.
Since I was
so-
15, twice a day.
I,
you gotta
I had
get these
laser eye
things moving.
surgery, so I'm okay.
Pimp
Yeah.
Daddy can stay all he wants.
Jesus.
I don't give a shit. Give me something.
Jackass.
I wear glasses.
Yeah.
so,
I wear contacts.
Yeah.
I'll say this though. I don't mind. Going back and forth with anybody. Like I said,
No, that
if
was
you
just
really
fun.
listen to the Starlight Diet, if you really listen to us and all that stuff, you'll kind of get the sense of why we do this show and what we talk about and how we talk about it. If I don't think anybody in the pit that's been listening for a long time will call us anything like shills or whatever, they'll notice that
Yeah.
we break down what we were presented and we have our opinions and we have our thoughts on everything. If you don't like playing in a sandbox, then you don't have to.
Yeah.
I just enjoy
We'll play
playing in a
Marvel.
sandbox. Doesn't mean that I
But see,
buy
that's Disney
everything.
too. That's the trick, right? If I'm a
Oh,
Marvel,
yeah,
if
go-
I'm a Disney shill, I'm into Marvel and shit.
Yeah,
if I
go
don't
watch-
shit on Marvel constantly.
Well, like
Go
I said,
watch Shazam.
Yeah, I don't buy everything that Disney puts out. I don't put it on my
At all.
shelf. But the thing is, I still like playing in the sandbox.
I love
And
Star Wars.
yeah, I like Star Wars, and I feel like if I just don't want to walk away from it. If people
Yeah.
want to walk away from it, then by all means, that's cool. You know,
Some people should.
So-
Are
Yeah.
you
and some people
talk-
should. You know.
are you talking about the sandbox where the merry-go-round was in?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
exact.
See,
I was-
there we go. The
You had to bring
merry-go-round,
it
the
back up.
jungle gym, dude.
Yeah.
It wasn't like
Bring it
one
back
thing.
up.
It was a whole damn setup, man. And I'm like, come on.
And I love it. We're in
No.
hidden Star Wars.
Yeah.
No, make it
Look,
something
Mando-
delighted.
This is nowhere
I
else.
hate Mando. I hate everything. I'm still exactly. You
Yeah,
know, Mando because I know because Mando likes talking Star Wars and living and playing in, like I said, playing in the Star Wars sandbox, and it's hard to just walk away and then you have nothing. You walk away in a corner with nothing in your hands. So we're not in control of this. We're not the creators of it, but we're talking about it, and
Every
doesn't
episode
mean
I
that
wanna
we're
revisit.
enjoying it. Trust me, if you listen to it, does not mean we're
There
enjoying
have
it.
been some things that have been a goddamn slog.
Yeah,
Right? Like, why are we getting through this?
I mean,
But
watch us
guess
talk
what?
about Book of Fett. I mean, hey,
But
Hey.
hey,
Hey,
Skeleton Crew, on the other
Hey.
hand, is rocking and rolling, man. And like I
Okay,
said,
yes, that is
this is-
true.
and I think this is the weakest of the 4 episodes, but still a great episode.
still,
You know,
because again,
Yep.
it wasn't that where I can't sit and just watch this. Now I'm like, oh, now I got to think about this.
damn it.
Which
That might have made it worse. I kind of like the easygoing plot. Like I
that's
think
what,
I made that point earlier in the season, or the
Yeah.
very first. We act like we're all deep, right? Like we all want these big meanings and big things and all.
As soon as we
Hell
get
no,
it, we're
I
like,
want a straightforward, fun, action-packed story. That's all I
Yeah.
want. I don't need twists and turns all the time.
And it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
entertaining
I
and,
know.
and fun and taking us back to what we liked.
I
What we
like
grew up
I like
with.
when I end a movie, any movie, and I
Yeah.
go, all right, I'm satisfied, right? I didn't feel like
Yeah.
I just wasted my time.
Uh,
That was pretty good. I want
Yeah.
more from that from Star Wars, but I'm content with that kind of story,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And I don't.
Well,
but
need
I
these twists.
do think all of these kids and every character that we've seen is killing it in the acting way. You know that they're really bringing me into their characters, so I really do enjoy it for that sense. Like
That's good.
Yeah.
they really are pulling me in. Well, you
Yeah,
can really see yourself in each one of the characters that they're showing, and then just
100%.
when we've been to like the Tortuga that was there with all the aliens back, and you can tell that it's
for Gruda,
people in masks
Tortuga,
walking
yeah.
around
Yeah.
and
not a turtle.
all of the side stuff. I love it.
Yeah, me too,
Yeah.
dude.
It
Yeah,
really
it's
is
so funny that
been
these
really
4
cool.
kids can act circles around Vernestra.
God, yes.
Like
Absolutely.
circles, dude. You put
Yeah.
any 4 of these kids into the Acolyte with Manny Jacinto, and they'll be tied with him for the best actor in that show.
Yeah.
Right. These kids
Um,
are the whole Jude Law, even Nick Frost
Jude.
with SM33. They are
Yeah.
all Kim.
Oh, God.
I mean, every character been in, right?
Yeah.
They're all great. This is
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
Brutus. Can we get
Yeah.
the pirates back? You know,
Yeah,
And-
they're coming back because again,
Yeah.
nothing. The trailer hasn't. We haven't gotten everything that's in the trailer, and we're getting scenes with them back. So, but I do want to end it here and just
Oh,
kind of because
Sorry,
there's a
one
lot.
more thing. It's all
Yeah.
cool. It's all cool, Pimp Daddy.
Oh no, I was just gonna address that. Like I
Oh.
said, like I said, you know, I don't ever
Yeah.
tell anybody how they should enjoy Star Wars,
Yeah.
whatever. Like I said, even with our whole Acolyte talk, if you go back and you watch those episodes, we break it down as present, but there is a lot of like, I mean, Chris and I almost like met up in the parking lot after one episode. I mean, it was like, you know, I wasn't gonna show up, but you know, it was just like but
I still said
Wait a
be
minute, what
there.
happened?
yeah, but it's the point of like, we will never tell anybody how they should enjoy Star Wars. Like, oh, you know, don't do this, don't do that. And I there's a lot of jokes to be made, and I think that it sucks as a Star Wars fan that sometimes Star Wars is the brunt of those jokes being bad. You know,
It
something
sucks.
that's put out bad, it's bad, and we cringe at that too. We're like, damn it, dude! Like, how come it has to be bad? You know. But at the same time, like, you know, what are we doing? If we weren't doing this, what would we be doing? Just stewing in the corner. And again, that's not what we do. We like to talk
Yeah.
about it, good or bad. And we will definitely tell. I am, for one, looking forward to the day Kathleen Kennedy turns into resignation and hands the reins over to someone else. I want that to happen. I think it's overly due at this point.
It's time for a
So,
change.
It's
Yeah,
time for a change,
sure.
man. And there needs to be one person at the helm. And I do think that with Skeleton Crew and or 2 coming, we got the return of the theatrical things. I think we've gotten the poison out on some of the stuff. I mean,
Hopefully.
unless some of those movies do get made that they're talking about. I don't know, man. So
Did you see or hear the clip about Mando and Grogu? Did anybody see that? I guess there was a sizzle
no,
played somewhere, and
No.
they were on a snow planet, full size AT-ATs,
Oh, yeah,
snowtroopers.
oh
Did
yeah,
you
that
see
was
it? I didn't see it.
yeah. We saw it was
God, I smoked.
That was back at.
he smoked too much.
Was that D23? Was that a
Yeah,
D23?
Why am I missing
Yeah.
AT-ATs? In
Yeah,
Grogu, in Grogu
They actually
and
had
Mando?
like finished. That's when they had Zeb and the Razor Crest. They had yeah.
Yeah, we did a whole episode on it, man. We
ATSTs.
did. We had.
Yeah.
We
I'll
had,
go find it because apparently I
screenshots.
don't remember a thing. I'm like, oh, look at that, AT-ATs. I'm like, neat, that's cool. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
Mando Mike, the episode, the first time I saw Neil's mouth move, it's so funny because I had to look
It's
for it
great.
sometimes. I'm like, okay, because it's under there. 'Cause
It is.
just-
There's an episode back when he went like that and said something. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
it is,
it's there.
it is.
very
Yeah.
yeah, it's funny.
It's
I love
fantastic.
Neil.
Um,
That's
but-
funny. Somebody in there, who was it? No one watches. Didn't like Neil's look. The thing is, Neil's body's weird, right?
His hands look
I
floppy, right?
I would like him to be a little
that's
chunkier,
weird.
Yeah.
right?
Well, he's
That's
a
all.
toddler, right? He's got a big head right now. So
He's not a toddler.
No, I mean-
He's like 12.
Yeah.
or 13.
He-
He's
he's-
12.
he's a little awkward.
Have you guys just
Matt-
out of curiosity, changing the subject really fast? Have you guys seen Dear Santa?
Yes.
Yeah, I
No,
love
yeah.
it.
The-
Yeah,
Yes,
love
that
it. The
kid
same
is Neil. I mean, it's
Yeah,
same
yeah.
kid
I
as
told
Neil.
you that the first day.
Yeah.
You don't remember that?
Well, you don't seem to remember an episode we did.
That was a long time ago. This was just like last week.
I
Give
can
me
remember
shit.
things
You
from
get
a
right
long
back
time
at
ago.
you.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
can't
I
remember
saw that.
yesterday.
Yeah, Mike, he'll grow into it, guys.
Hey, speaking
Neil-
of Neil, we missed a comment from Matt, and he sent it to me. This is hilarious. He said, "Did anybody realize that Neil is dressed the same exact way as Baby Gonzo?
No,
It is the
I
clothes
didn't,
and
but-
everything match."
Oh, don't tell me that.
And that is Neil.
Oh,
Oh my
There we go. There it is.
Oh my god,
He's
Baby
almost
Gonzo.
He's almost
That's
Gonzo.
hilarious. Yeah.
Happy babies. Now I want to see Gonzo in the Star Wars episode. Oh my god.
I mean, you basically are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
No,
got the
yeah.
nose.
No,
I mean-
remember they did a Muppet Baby Star Wars.
yes, they did.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh yeah.
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 Wow.
Oh my
All
God,
right,
that is
guys.
great.
Well, let's get out of here. Yeah, smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. We'll be doing this again. I don't know if we'll be back next week or the following week. If something happens dramatically in the show itself, we might do something.
it could prompt a quick reaction video or
an
something.
improv
like that.
too. The
Yeah.
only thing you'll notice is if you hit that subscribe and then you hit the bell notification, because then you'll know when we're go on it, and we will pre-plan it a little bit. We'll see what happens, but yeah.
It'll be quick.
I'm going to drag this out just a little bit longer.
Yeah.
SD17 reached out to our Shadow Council and asked them the question, what was their favorite Star Wars moment of the year, or what was their highlight of 2024? And our buddy Gavin Connor reacted, and he let us know his semi-predictable Star Wars highlight of 2024 has to be Skeleton Crew. While still new and technically unfinished, it has been the perfect rebound since The Acolyte. Looks great, has likable characters, good storyline, and it's fun,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is absolutely
When we did our year-end
has the
review, even though it wasn't like officially ended, we did put Skeleton Crew as like the gateway to 2025, as like something that's amazing that happened this year when we absolutely needed it, and we absolutely needed a show that we can and just like have something fun with. And I think we're still have fun with it. And I think all said and done, I think this will be a show that we could put on and really not. I still don't think it's going to have so big implications on the overall story. There might be some things that are interesting and might have get our theory crafting jump started at times, because we'll constantly reference it. But I think exploring the pirates and the whole kids adventure thing is fantastic. And again, with the skin of Star Wars is good too. So yeah. So anyway, everybody, thank you so much. Everybody in the pit, thank you. Again, like and subscribe if you haven't. I want to see those comments in the section below. after the show hits, your replay crew, we want to interact some more, and we'll see where the show goes. So, anybody have any last minute?
I like Bondage Brittany's last comment. Sorry. I can't say I remember no sequels.
Hey, what is it? I'm not allowed to talk about the sequels because all I do is bitch about the sequels.
You're right. I'm laughing at it.
Exactly. So,
Hellrunner Base, we have to stream next week. We all have to share our Christmas Eve hauls per Scott's instructions.
Oh yeah, we have to see if people found what Scott. Hey, that's the thing. Go back and watch the last toy chest that we dropped last Monday. It's still on there. It's still relevant. Scott gives a great toy tip on how to find or not to find. We'll see if it pans out. There's some people throughout the country that are going to do Scott's tip. So if you want to find out what that tip was, you have to go back and watch that toy chest. It's early on.
Look out for a toy chest. Just the tip.
Yeah.
Coming your way.
All right, guys. Yeah. If we don't see you guys next week, everybody, happy holidays. We'll do something. I don't see us staying away too long. I really don't.
You're putting too much pressure on me, damn it.
But anyway, thank you guys. Kick it off to Ernie to get us out of here properly. I will stop talking now.
Everything that Moocher said. Thank you guys. Yeah. Just double it. He's got it down pat now, honestly. Yes, but thank you, everybody new who joined us. Everybody for jumping in the pit and live. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for being part of the Shadow Collection, and we greatly appreciate it. I mean, we put it right back into the show, and it really helps us out and do some cool stuff. So we appreciate it. Yes. But we also appreciate you hitting that thumbs up and dropping a comment as well, because that does help us out. Or if you're with family this weekend and you ain't got nothing going on, throw a replay on. Throw anything on, because hours help us out too. So if you
introduce your family to the Sarlacc Digest.
Yeah. There you go. Tell them what's up, and go watch some Skeleton Crew, and then throw us on after. Absolutely, please do that.
Yeah.
Thanks to our sponsors tonight, Tosh Station Emporium, which I have right here for all your figure stand needs. Everything makes all this cool stuff all the time. We got everything. Like that for your display needs, for all of your shelves, from your DTOFs, and much more, making your figure photography even that much more better. Go hit up Moocher. It is the holiday season, so he is throwing in free beard hair with every package.
Yeah, it's not on purpose. It just happens. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's like having another dog or something.
You wanted something free? Beard hair. There it is.
It is, because I can control that.
Packing all his boxes naked.
You would think because of beard that I'm hairy.
Yeah. If you were wondering, there's your answer.
If you think, it's because of the beard, I'm hairy all over.
Sarlacc Digest exclusive. Yeah. If you want to find out more info like that, we're all over the internet and all social media, everywhere, even Discord. All the links are below. You can check that out, from 1 minute toy reviews over on TikTok to Chris explaining things on Twitter, and then check out our Instagram post as well. But we also have the Facebook Star Wars
Lies, deception.
You can go.
Lies.
Old.
Yeah, I went on there today just to check, and I just still don't like people.
Yeah. See,
so I just I'm good.
Letting you know it does happen. So there it is, and we'll see you guys maybe next week. Who knows? Who knows?
You never know.
Depends on the Skeleton Crew.
Hit that bell for all notifications.
Yeah.
If we pop up, you'll know it.
We'll give you some time in advance if we do. It won't be just like
at least 30 minutes.
Yeah, at least 30 minutes. You'll get something. So it could be on a Tuesday. Out of the ordinary, I know. With that, Scott,
keep it nerdy, everybody.
And thank you guys so much. Happy holidays. We'll see you.
This is Grand Admiral Thrawn. You are listening to the Sarlacc Digest. What a fascinating play on words.